Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farm, thinking right out here, and I'm back in the book. I got a nice little lesson for you today. It's getting better and better. Let's go. We at page number 98. We rolling. Let's go. Rightism 25 rule live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? So let's get there together. I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to might not be true. Man, what the hell? I'm getting a little weak. All right, sorry about that. Right thinkers, let's talk about where we at today. Oh yeah, how Aset became one with God, and she reached the ultimate level of knowledge by learning His true name. And this is the story of how she got what she wanted, ultimate knowledge. Okay, let's go. So she had been bothering Ra about learning His name. So at a certain point, so Ra could no longer withstand his daughter's probing nature and was beginning to show its real essence. It was losing its shapes and forms. Ra had allowed himself to be discovered. Okay? This discovery bestowed the knowledge, pay attention, this is important, of the essential nature of the divine to his daughter Aset. She wanted ultimate knowledge. This knowledge cannot be transmitted in words or even in thoughts, ideas, or concepts. Well, how could this message, this knowledge be obtained? It can only be transmitted, pay attention, this is the good part, by one way, and one way alone. You ready? Like this is like a thriller, keep you on your seat. By communing with its source. What you mean? You becoming one with God. That's what meditation helps you do. And everybody in the East knows that. The Western civilization got this mind game they play with yourself. No, God is all mental. God is in the mind. Y'all think God is human. God's man. God's woman. No, he ain't neither one. Okay? Or both. Again, how you want to use it. But God, the source, is what you want to connect it to. But this attainment of this special name is not what? A verbalization. Nope. But it's an identification. Pay attention, it gets tricky. It's the identification of the knower, which is you, with that which is known, which is God. Y'all got to become one. That's what communing and meditating mentally becomes. The pineal gland is the transmitter to God. So this is why it was transmitted. How? From heart, from the heart of Ra to the heart of Aset. True knowledge of everything comes from here. Not here, but here. And not from his mouth to her ear. This is also why it has a transformative effect on the one who knows that, which is you, the individual. Hence, know thyself. Hence, self knowledge. Knowing who you are. Knowing you and God are one. not believing in this supreme being, but knowing that you are one with the supreme being. I'm cool. I'm cool. All right. So what's this? To know the essential nature of God, thyself, is what to become one with God. I gotta maintain myself. You hear me? To know the essential nature of God, aka your true self, is to become one with it by being conscious. Knowing the essential nature of God. Not believing, not wishing, hoping, and having faith. No, knowing the essential nature of God in the absolute and the transcendental aspect of the divine. That means what? That means you're becoming what? Enlightened to what you didn't know. Okay, yourself. Enlightenment, again, means reaching a state of consciousness that is free from all ignorant illusions. You have bad ideas because you're ignorant, gives you these illusions and delusions about what y'all think it is, and that's just wrong. And watch this. In illusions, in all relativity and all limitation, you believe you're human. He believed in when he died, that's it. He didn't know himself. He didn't know he was a spirit being having human conversation. See? He thought he was him. His ego led him to that. But it is becoming one with God consciously, who is what? All omnipotent, immortal, eternal, infinite. These are all the things that we are essentially. In essence, we are spirit. God is in the flesh, having human experience for his own pleasures. And only way he can get his spirit back that he sends out into the world is that it enlightens itself with knowledge of self so it can go home. You can't go home without knowing yourself. Coming to the world, you don't know where home is. You don't know who you are. So that's the whole human experience, is to find that out. Okay? Let me see. Hope that makes sense to you. Where we at now? Now, God who was all that. So therefore, knowing all these things. So therefore, when you become enlightened, an enlightened sage is what? Eternally one with the divine. I know God for myself. It's personal. And all those who do have the same thing. Even though my body may continue to exist here in time and space on the relative world, my enlightenment, or of knowing that the essential nature of the divine, means knowing thyself, and that which, when known, leaves nothing else to be known. To know thyself is to know all, know the absolute. That's the Akashic records that you will reach when you reach that level. But this knowledge, again, this knowledge is the source of all knowledge and the truth behind all relative truth of the what? The world and of all human experiences. We're here for a purpose, to learn, to find out, to experience, to enjoy, to have fun, all that, yeah. But the main goal is when you do that, the process of knowing yourself should be the main focus. Why? Because when this physical body is over, the spirit should be able to go home. If not, it's just keep reincarnating, moving on. That's the concept. We almost there. Where we at? I got a little way to go. Yeah. Oh, I ain't got started. Yeah, I got a whole other page of information. Just check it. All right, let's go. This is good information that if you pay attention and listen, you hear and understand the whole purpose of what? Knowing thyself, what it works, how it works, and what it means to do that. A spiritual aspirant, aka right thinker, you guys, who practice these teachings when daily, that all existence is essentially made up of the same essence, God. Everything comes from the one. Once you grasp and have that concept, you'll be fine. And has the power, the same essence has that power to reveal the secrets of nature itself and to remove what? The illusions of life with what? The truth. Also, for one who has discovered the truth and the essence of nature, it ceases to exist as such. What? Only your higher nature remains. The negative, lower nature can't stand it. So there is no going back to being ignorant, to that state of ignorance. Once the veil of nature has been lifted, when you put the magic glasses on, according to Dick Gregory, you start seeing things the way they really are. You can't take them off. You can't go back. No, you here. You got here, so you got to deal with that. Okay. And self-discovery is discovering what? God's true nature. That means seeing God where? Everywhere, and what? In all things. Can't make it no plainer. Now, through the process of practicing the spiritual teaching daily, you now a person, serpent power, life force energy. I told you about the Kundalini. We talk about that. That would only be activated. He sit at the scrotum in the root of the chakra, wait until what? To be activated. How? By righteous living. Automatically, he starts his journey up. And now things start to change as he's going up through the chakras. That's the whole idea. That's the serpent power. We know that's Kundalini. But that's how it is roused. How? The power disables what? This knowledge disables your illusoriness of the world, your ignorance, and the negativity of one's own ego. That ego is a bad man if you don't have control over it. Negativity and egoism drives people to hold on to this illusion of the world. Minds, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, I gotta have the possessions, wanting things. Spiritual people don't want nothing but what? Knowledge, which prevents them, because they're in this delusions of the physical world, that prevents them from what? Truly discovering the true essence of the divine, aka themselves. If you love with physical stuff, you love material stuff, you're not going to know thyself. Why? It's spiritual and mental. There's no monetary thing. There's no monetary things than spirit and mentality. That's why. What we call the serpent power energy, that's Kundalini, allows a person's what? Consciousness to be able to go beyond the ignorance and the illusionariness of the world and carry it to what? Unite with the very source of consciousness, God, spirit, and consciousness, which is beyond thoughts and individuality and the ego itself. Is bigger than you. It's better than you. The ego will fight, but it's going to lose. Okay, unless you help it. Moving on. I'm getting there. When Aset made the serpent to bite Ra, to poison him, is the metaphor. The poisoning of the relative aspect of Ra is a metaphor, and it's relating to what? The poisoning of an illusion. Okay? It's distorting the illusion now. It's starting, is this really what it is? Yeah, you're starting to become, okay? But the relative form of Ra in time and space, aka duality, represents Maya, is an illusion because it is only the reflection of the absolute. So they say everything here ain't real in this world. The physical world is an illusion, reflection of the astral plane. All right. So this is why Aset needed to discover what? That hidden secret name, the outer name of God, that was Ra. Everybody knew that. But it is not the true name, but only the name of for God in time and space that we can relate to. Okay, in the virtue, everybody got a name for God. But when God is truly discovered in the transcendental essence, the name is unutterable. You can't speak it. And transcendental and can only be known by experience. Again, God have to be experienced by the individual who wants to know God for themselves. I can't get you to God. You got to get to God yourself. I can point you in the right direction. I can give you instruction. I can guide you, but you got to put the work in and have that experience for yourself. I've had mine. That's why I can talk about it or teach about it. Sorry. Let me make that clear. So where we at over here? God in time and space. Ra is not the name. Okay, but this again, it can only be known and experienced. So where? In the heart. Right there. Right here. Right here. This is where it counts. This is the absolute name of the divine self, which transcends all names in all forms, all religious and secular concepts. Thus, the divine self, the deeper meaning of the poisoning of Ra symbolizes the poisoning of the belief that the world with it names and forms is an abiding reality when it's not, but you believe it in your whole heart. You just believe it. When this poisoning occurs through the practice of reflection on the wisdom teachings and by what? Living them in your daily life dispassionately. I don't get caught up in emotions. I could care less about your feelings. And dealing dispassionately and detached from objects and people, one is now able to what? Kill the world and discover the truth which sustains it, the hidden esoteric meaning. That's what I mean by kill. Kill the illusion and get the truth. And this is also known as, you ready? Unveiling the goddess. You can only unveil the goddess with the truth. Okay? Illusions don't unveil her. That's why. So therefore, the uniting of one's own mind with what? The cosmic mind, aka God, the self, God, within all of us, meaning the movement away from dualistic thinking. Stop thinking in pairs, moving closer to what we call the understanding of oneness, which identifies with all creation, and it allows your mind to poison or undermine, sabotage what? The power of the illusion of the world. Now you start to see things the way they really are. You ain't caught up in, okay. So the illusion of dualistic and ignorant, wrong thinking is that God has a particular form. I told you, stop humanizing God. And that everything in creation is separate from everything else. Wrong thinking. But just as waves in the ocean are all rooted in the one ocean, and just as your mental thoughts are all rooted in your single mind, every object in this universe is rooted in one sustaining essence, God, us included. A spiritual aspirant, right thinker, you must learn how to see the world and the ego as what? Illusions, not real. Then he or she, you will be in a position to now be able to discover your dreamlike qualities. What you think of yourself, what you think as a man thinketh, so he is. But the more a person affirms that the ego is real, Scooby-Doo, and that it can be satisfied by what? Acquiring wealth, fame, and fortune to fulfillment of his ego desires and pleasures, but the more it affects appears real to the mind. However, no matter how intense a person's ego becomes, how big it gets, or how wealthy it becomes, how famous or powerful that person becomes, death is always looming in the shadows. And what? This in itself points to the illusionariness of the ego. It has a fear. Okay, what is the fear? Death. It don't know that it's God. So it believes it do. It don't know why it fears death. Right there. That which is infinite cannot be real. Okay? Excuse me. That which is finite cannot be real. That means humans, physical bodies. Therefore, your ego and the world are like the personalities that we become when we're having a dream. The world we experience when awake is just like the world we experience when we're asleep. Did you know that? Watch this. And having a dream. But watch this. They both are what? Illusory. Even this world is still an illusion. Why? Because as a spiritual aspirant, right thinker, you must learn to develop such a powerful intellect, meaning mind over matter, that you will be able to peer through the illusionariness, okay, of the concepts and the beliefs in one's mind. This movement is what ultimately leads to what we call spiritual enlightenment. Ding, 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 ding. Wrapping up last paragraph. So Aset was able to realize and have her own experience of the highest truth by what? Practicing the spiritual disciplines of yoga through the power of yoga of wisdom, which relates to what? One acquiring spiritual intuitional knowledge and the right thinking. She realized, through right thinking, she realized that she could attain also the highest level of consciousness if she could just discover what? The higher essence of Ra, his true name. So Aset also developed the power of what? Dispassion. She didn't give a damn about his pain he was going through. She didn't give a damn about him dying. She wanted what she wanted, and the way she was going to get it was to put him in that predicament and take her emotions out of it to get that dispassion and detachment from the world, which would allowed her to turn away from what? Human life and from the astral plane of the gods and goddesses as well. So now she was able to realize what? That she could now discover the true highest secrets of creation if she could unite the opposites, yoga or tantrism, again, male and female coming together become one, through her true devotion to truth and penetrating inquiry, which is yoga of wisdom. She wanted to learn, and meditation to commune with her higher self. And to rise essential nature, she was able to what? Direct all her attention towards God and pierce what we call the veil of illusion, the outer form of any object. She saw the esoteric meaning and knowledge of what? Knowing thyself. And she did everything she needed to do to make sure she made that happen for herself and then pass it on to her son, which is Haru. That's the spirit that's in me and you. That's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. This is all about learning how to master oneself and becoming one with your higher self, aka God. I'm just trying to get it to you. I'll be back with more. You know I'm not done. But right now, in closing, right thinkers, may you all dare to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers who starting to what? Where we at here? Oh, become one with God who passed away. The idea, it happens here and here. I'm out. Heart, mind, coherence. That's what I want to get in. All right.